What's up, guys? I wanted to briefly talk about Braxton Jones and reports that he weighs only 303 pounds, and then I'll let you hear what me and Greg Gabriel had to say on the topic. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The Chicago Bears official website has updated everyone on the roster's weight. And this is important because this is not something that happens very often, and it seems to be the first official weight update we've gotten in a while. And one of the biggest takeaways is Braxton Jones' weight. Remember this offseason when Ben Johnson talked about our starting left tackle, he said he wants Braxton to add some weight and improve on his anchor this offseason. And I've said all along that's going to be pretty hard as he's recovering from off-season ankle surgery, but this recent report is telling. If Braxton's current weight is apparently 303 pounds, which is lighter than what he's played at so far in his career, that's the opposite of bulking up, and he only has a little bit of time as we are only 2 weeks away from training camp, and most players end up losing a little bit of weight during that time. It's kind of hard to bulk up during training camp when you're outside practicing in the heat. But let's go ahead and look at the updated weight of all four of our offensive tackles. Interestingly enough, both Karan Amagaji and Darnell Wright are 20 plus pounds heavier than 6'8" mammoth Ozzy Trapillo, but he also has time to add on more muscle as well. But Braxton is by far our lightest tackle right now, and this is a huge training camp for him. Not only is he recovering from off-season ankle surgery, but he also needs to improve his anchor and hopefully add a bit of weight. On top of that, he's competing with both Ozzy Trapillo and Karan Amagaji, who have been rotating reps during off-season training. If Braxton is not ready in 2 weeks when training camp opens, his chances of starting this year go way down. So that's something to keep an eye on for sure. Let's go ahead and listen to what Greg Gabriel had to say about this topic as we discussed it in a special quick take. Bear down, guys.
I mentioned to you before when we were doing the other segment, the weights that showed up on the Bears website. How about Braxton Jones? And it shocked me. 303.
Yeah, I mean,
that's going the wrong way, George. Yeah. He's
maybe that's one reason why they updated it. Maybe the Ben Johnson's like, hey, let's show people. Maybe he wants to be a little more transparent with weights. I don't know.
But that's the lightest. If that's accurate, he's smaller than he was when he came in, and he's smaller than now. Granted, he had a leg injury, and that means he probably wasn't doing a lot of leg work during the off-season program, and that could the atrophy and stuff could cause him to lose some weight in his lower body. But still, the 303 don't get it done.
Yeah, 303 is a little bit, especially when, Ben Johnson said it. He wanted Braxton Jones to bulk up and improve his anchor in this offseason. And bulking up is not losing 10 pounds. But I've said it all along. It's really hard to bulk up, especially your lower body when you're coming back. You're recovering from off-season ankle surgery. So it put him in a tough position, and that's one of the reasons why it's going to be tough for Braxton Jones. He needs to get into camp. He needs to be bulking up, and he needs to be healthy and competing, or he really doesn't stand a chance of winning that left tackle job. I think right now the odds are kind of stacked against him. Yes, he's been the starter the last couple of years, but considering he's coming back from the ankle surgery and he's not at the weight he's supposed to be, if the Chicago Bears official website is correct, it's going to be tough for Braxton. What do you expect out of that?
Yeah, I said and I'm a Braxton Jones fan. I don't think he's going to be on the 53. I think he's going to get traded. Now, in saying that, he could be on the initial and then end up being like a trade deadline guy.
Yeah.
But you go back to, and this will be the telling thing. Okay, the veterans come in, you said the 23rd, I thought it was the 24th, whatever. If he's on PUP, to me, it's all over. You only got 2 weeks, just, like 17 days before they play the first preseason game. And Poles is on record as saying, I want to know what our starting line is then, so they can, be working together. So if he isn't playing that first game or ready to play as a starter that first game, to me, it's all over.
Yeah. And
The only thing that changes is that the other guys just aren't good enough.
yeah,
And I'm
Trapillo and
not
Amagaji as
anticipating
well.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both of those guys are capable, both Ozzy Trapillo and Karan Amagaji. Either one is capable, but really won't tell until the pads come on. That's something to look forward to in training camp.
Oh, I think that's going to be one of the most interesting battles to watch during all of camp is number one, how does Braxton ready to go from the beginning, and how do those guys compare to Braxton, and how do they show? Does the coaching staff have confidence in them?
Mm. And honestly, that's the biggest story as we head into training camp, other than us getting our second round pick signed. But this is a tough one. Are the Bears sending Braxton Jones a message? Yes, they've sent him messages in both of the last two drafts by selecting Karan Amagaji and Ozzy Trapillo with high picks. But yes, the message is loud and clear. Braxton needs to not only be ready for training camp, but he needs to come in and perform at a high level, especially if he's not at the weight that the coaching staff requested. The time to add weight is in the off season, not once things get going and we get to the regular season. So Braxton is running out of time, and we're just a couple of weeks away from finding out if he's ready to go for camp. This roster is a lot more talented, and the position battles should be fierce. But the blind side, protecting Caleb Williams, that left tackle job is up for grabs, and it's the biggest position battle of the offseason. Three players competing for one spot. My current favorite to win the job is none other than rookie Ozzy Trapillo. But the real competition won't even start until pads come on, and we're a long way away from deciding a winner. Let me know in the comments who you think will win the job. Don't rule out Karan Amagaji. Stay tuned as I'll be here to cover it every step of the way. And until next time, bear down.